Then I would suggest you prepare a short phrase that you're going to record. So here's an example. So you might say, hi, I'm Nicola from Love to Video, and I'm testing my camera personality to see what level works for me. Then hit record and say the phrase in your normal voice. So that's step one in finding your personality. So you're going to record yourself just saying something simple.
This is the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast for entrepreneurs and business owners looking for cool online tools, apps and strategies to make business easy online. My name is Nick Cree and I'm your host. Each episode features a guest expert demystifying the online universe, sharing inspirational ideas and providing tested real-world strategies to help you get the most of what's available online to grow your business today. Don't be a slave to your business, get your business working for you. Subscribe now and get some great content and ideas for you and your business today. So we have Nicola Kane from lovetovideo.nz. And she is a videographer and creates authentic videos for clients and customers across a range of mediums. And one of her skills and talents is that she's able to get people to relax and really almost forget about the camera in front of them, so they create some some really great content. The other good thing that she does is that when you make those faux pas or you look a bit wooden or whatever, she can cut that out and just stick in all the good bits and create a good video that you couldn't do with that one take. So it's my pleasure tonight to welcome Nicola and everything she's got to share with us tonight about video. So let's give her a big hand to welcome her on.
Thank you, everyone. How are you all? You good? It's very dark here today, so I've got my studio lights on, so it's quite strange. Normally there would be a little light coming in the window, but there's not today. Thank you so much for coming along tonight. I will start sharing my screen and just introduce myself now. Can you all see that on the screen? Yep, great. So how do you create an authentic, engaging brand video? I'm going to talk to you about how you do that using a 5-step formula that I follow with all my clients. And it's basically structuring the video so that you get maximum impact from the video itself. And we'll go through those 5 steps. Just before we do, my background, I'm over 25 years in the IT and communications industry, working both in New Zealand and in the UK for a number of years. I'm a small business owner here in New Zealand for the last 14 years, and I currently run a website business and a video business. So they kind of go hand in hand, as you would imagine. Love to Web and Love to Video, and also one called Moving Memories, which is about life story videos. So that is who I am. Why would you use video? Well, Nick has shared a little bit about this already, but I just wanted to share some interesting stats that I have shared with people before and found interesting to pass on. Videos are processed by the brain 60,000 times faster than text. So if you imagine if you had like a 10-page PDF on your website telling people what you did, it would take them 60,000 times longer to digest that than it would a video. So videos are easily digested and shared. And storytelling with video is much more effective than a sales pitch. With a video, you're able to tell your story rather than sell your business or your product or your service. And so it focuses on the story of who you are and why you do what you do and what you do for people, how you can help them, as opposed to a sales pitch. Some statistics that you may or may not know: 86% now of businesses use video marketing. YouTube is the world's second most visited website. Number 1 is Google. So you can imagine that's pretty huge. And in the last 12 to 18 months during COVID, we've had that number just skyrocket. YouTube has just gone nuts. The average person will spend this year 100 minutes each day watching online video. So that's pretty frightening. That's taken from statistics, people over 18. But that's the average person will spend 100 minutes a day. So if you're not on video, you're not being seen by a lot of people. A brand video should be authentic, first of all. So people do business with people. If you are not authentic and if you don't share who you are with your audience, they are not going to want to do business with you. So it's another thing that your video will do for you. It should leave an impression. So it should leave people thinking about what it is that you do and what impact you've had on them with your video. It should motivate them. So motivate them to buy whatever it is that you're selling. It should provide some sort of emotional value as well. So most of the videos that you will have seen that you enjoy watching make you feel something. So they might make you feel excited about a new product, or they might make you feel sad about something, or happy, or all those. So an emotional value needs to be included in a brand video. And it should have a clear call to action. And that's one of the things that I'll be covering in the 5 steps. So that's just a checklist of what a brand video should have. So the first thing you'd want to do with your video when you start planning your brand video is think about who it's for. So the people that your video is for would include your prospective clients. So you want them to get to know, you need to get to know who they are. Your client avatars will help you find who they are. If you're using those already, I imagine that's something that you all understand and use. What you can help them with. So what problems do they have? So that needs to be part of the purpose of your video. Do they require your services because you are an expert in XYZ, or you sell products that solve their problems, or you sell houses that solve their housing problems, whatever that may be. And where are your clients? So where do they spend time online? Now that could be a number of places. It could be Facebook, it could be LinkedIn, it could be Instagram, YouTube. It depends on where they are as to what your video needs to do and how long it needs to be, for example, as well. Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, I would say brand video needs to be 2 minutes, maybe up to 3 at a push, but 2 minutes and under is ideal. For YouTube, you can go a little bit longer. You can go up to about 10 minutes on YouTube. That's quite acceptable, but I wouldn't go any longer than 2 minutes, for example, on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. So if your clients spend a lot of time on those platforms, then you know that you need to devise a video that's going to work in those platforms, that's going to be the same, or is going to be the appropriate length to suit them. Sorry, just moving a few things on my desk. So my simple 5-step formula, this is what you want to achieve. So you want to invite them into your story so that the video will help them understand who you are, what you do, and how to engage with you. And you need to do it in an authentic way so that when you share your story, they know that they are dealing with the real person. So as I said, people do business with people, and that is what you want your video to achieve. So a good brand story will help them understand exactly who you are, your authentic self. So moving into now the 5 steps. So step 1 of the formula. And this particular 5-step formula is available. I'll be sharing in the chat how you can access that by going to a link on my website. So you can get this 5-step formula with all the information in more detail after this. Step number 1 is opening with the problem. So what do they need a solution to? What are you going to help them with? An example of that might be that you're going to help explain how to get over problems they might be having in their relationship, for example. So your opening problem or question might be, are you struggling in a lonely, disconnected relationship? So that's the problem you're opening with. Or it might be, for me, do you have trouble explaining your products and services in a document, for example, in a PDF? Do you have trouble doing that? And then the solution is your services. So you're looking to find their pain points, what it is they need help with, and open with that. It's better than opening with, hi, I'm Jodie McDonald and I do videos. No, you want to, you can introduce yourself, of course you introduce yourself, but the better way to start it is to open with a pain point. So what it is that you're solving, a problem they've got that you're going to solve. And then number two, when you come to framing your product as the solution, I want you to remember this: it's all about them. You need to frame your product or service from their perspective. Now, what I mean by that is your service needs to be framed in such a way that you are going to make their lives easier. It's not about the bells and whistles that you can provide. It's not about the excellent qualifications that you've got or the number of years you've been doing this. Yes, you can include that on your website, but in your videos, you need to be clear that this is all about them, because that's why they're watching this. They want a solution to their problem and they want to see it from their perspective. So remember, that was step number two. Here's an example for step number three of what you need to do when you describe what it is that you're offering as a solution to their problem. You need to outline 3 to 5 key points. So what do they need to know in order to trust and like you? And keep it simple. When I say keep it simple, again, it's all about them. They are the hero of this story. You are not the hero in this story. They are the hero in this story. So you want to outline it in a way that tells them exactly how you can help them. An example I've done on the next page, next screen, sorry, is precisely that. So here's 3 bullet points that I've used to if I was describing my services in 3 steps or 3 bullet points, and it's framed in such a way that it's about how I can help them. So straight off the bat, I say, we can help you create sales using video. So you're thinking about them. They're thinking, great, I'm going to create sales. We use a 5-step formula in a storytelling style. So that tells them there's a formula that tells them it's easy for them to grab and run with. We offer a full service. We help you prepare a script, guide you through the shoot process, advise you on how to distribute. So all of those things. So if we were to put this into just taking the builder's example again, you know, you might say, we help you create a house that your family will love to live in. We use a 5-step process or whatever it is to discuss your needs and plan out your house with our architects, etc. We offer the full service. We help you do this. You see how I'm kind of pulling it all into that. It's all about helping you, but make it simple and share in 3 to 5 simple steps what it is you do, because you've only got 2 minutes to get this across. And so that's step number 3. Okay, step number 4 and 5, I've got both of them up here, they kind of go together. Show some proof of your work in the form of testimonials or reviews, or a portfolio of your work. So I've got a portfolio that I share that I'll show you a bit later, which has a whole bunch of videos that I've done before. Testimonials, if you've got those, Nick was talking about that on his live this afternoon, how important those are. And that is probably the first thing I would say to a business after they've done their brand video would be, now get some client testimonial videos done, because people share good news And so when they start seeing that other people are sharing that you've done a good job, they'll start to trust you as well. So they kind of go hand in hand, the brand and testimonial videos. So the fourth step is to show some proof of your work, whether that's a video testimonial or a review on Facebook or whatever it is. You could have that in a little bubble, a speech bubble, and stamp it over the top of the video so that it says, you know, Doug did a great job on my house, ... and then people can go and find the full review on your website. Or you could have a portfolio of your work. You might have something coming up. Let's say you're an artist, you might have some work coming up on the screen showing what it is you do. And step 5 of the process is you must have a clear call to action. So be clear on what you want them to do next, how they can then engage with you. One of the best call to actions is book a call. So I don't know if any of you have a scheduling calendar of some sort for calls. I'm not actually able to see you all while I'm sharing my screen at the moment. So if you have got a question about that or you want to ask anything, just pop it into the chat and I'll go through it at the end. But there is a way of creating, there's Acuity scheduler, which is one that I use, and it's a way of creating a link that people can then go to straight away and book a call with you. So it means that they don't have to go onto your website and find your contact page and send you an email and wait for you to send them one back. If you've got a scheduling link where they can book a call with you straight away, I highly recommend you use that as your call to action. It's a really good one to use. I have that set up for most of my videos that I share, and I recommend clients do it. So that's just an extra idea for you. But another call to action could be, you know, buy one now, get one free, or it could be we have a special on till the end of April. If you book today, we'll give you a 15% discount. Whatever it is, just be clear with what that call to action is and how they can then engage with you. So before we go on to this next bit, I'm just going to check the chat and see if there are any questions. Just bear with me if I can get to the chat.
Nicole?
Yes?
When you say book a call, is that the one that you use for your videos?
So the scheduling calendar that I use is called Acuity, Acuity. I will put it in the chat. Cool. So that, or perhaps somebody could put that in the chat for me, Acuity scheduler. So what that does is it allows you to block off time. It's just like a calendar, and you go in and you block off time that you're not available, and then if somebody goes in, they can book in the times that you've made available.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's just a simple link that you can customize that link as well.
Cool, thank you.
All right, no problem. Does anyone else have any questions before I move on to the camera personality piece? Just unmute yourself if you'd like to.
I have just put the wrong link into chat, so I'm just grabbing the correct one for those that wonder why you got to a banking website. There we go, there's the right one.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on to finding your camera personality. So this is the second part of my piece where I wanted to talk to you about this, because there are so many of us that don't feel comfortable on camera. Things have got better, to be honest, since COVID, which is one thing that's done us a favour. It's helped us all get used to using Zoom and seeing ourselves on screen. But there's still, when you're in a room doing your brand video and you're by yourself and you're looking at the camera, it's still difficult to find that personality, if you like, that you want to share on camera. And that's what I would just like to show you some tips on today. The first thing I would suggest you do is do some practice, and that is just get your camera, and it doesn't have to be a fancy camera. It can be, as in this image here, can be your phone. And a lot of people use their phones to do videos. The new iPhones and Samsung phones are just fantastic video. I think the new Samsung's got an 8K, which is huge resolution video. That would be absolutely perfect for doing anything you need to do for a brand video. So I wouldn't go out and buy a DSLR if you've got the latest Samsung. It'll probably do a better job. So get that set up on a tripod, or you can make a tripod if you don't have one handy. You can make one just by using a pile of books and then having something behind your phone to lean it on. You could also, there's a trick you can do with a paper cup. If you turn the cup, or sit the cup down and cut 2 slots either side, on my glass, I'll just show you here. So if you had, imagine this was paper, I can cut a slot there and a slot there, and then I can pop my phone into it and it will sit in the top of the cup. There's lots of, just Google how to make a DIY tripod, but the thing is you do need your phone or your camera to be stable. Then I would suggest you prepare a short phrase that you're going to record. So here's an example. So you might say, "Hi, I'm Nicola from Love to Video, and I'm testing my camera personality to see what level works for me." Then hit record and say the phrase in your normal voice. So that's step 1 in finding your personality. So you're going to record yourself just saying something simple. Then you're going to try that again, but you're going to say it with 25% more enthusiasm and personality. And what I mean by that is, when you come onto the camera, imagine that you're talking to your best friend and you're really excited about what you're telling them. So you're going to use a lot more personality, a lot more enthusiasm. So let's say 25% is the number. And I want you to do the same phrase again and record that. Then we're going up a level again. So we're going up 50%. So the next time you record it, really go for it. So 50% more, like as if you're shouting it from the rooftops. Record that and play it back. You're gonna find this a bit weird, but we are going up to 75%. So that's the last one we'll do. So 75% is really over the top. So your arms and heads moving, everything's moving. I would say most of you will not stick with 75% as your final version. But the point is, you're trying different ways of talking and different levels of enthusiasm so that you can get to a point where you feel comfortable. So you will need to choose, you need to watch them over, and then you'll need to choose a level that works for you. And what feels ridiculous when you're doing it may not actually look ridiculous. I would be surprised to find anyone coming in under 25% more enthusiasm. Most people sit within the 25 to 50% range, and it's a really good exercise to do. And it's something that is, it's not a normal thing to do, to talk in an animated way to a camera lens. But if you do it with an exercise like this, if you do it with enthusiasm, 25% more, 50% more, 75% more, you'll come to find the level that works for you. Some of you might already be at 50%, so you don't need to do that. But I know it takes me a bit of time to warm up on video. And that's something that you can do as well when you're filming your videos. I would recommend that you do warm up, literally warm up. So warm up in terms of go for a walk, do some jumping jacks, dance to your favorite song, whatever it is. Get yourself into that warmer, more energetic kind of state before you start. And also think about your authenticity and make sure that when you come on camera that, yes, you are more enthusiastic than you would be if you were talking directly to someone, because on camera you have to be, but make sure you're still authentic. Make sure it's you that's talking to the camera, because people want to get to know and like and trust you. So does anyone have any questions about that little exercise? Is anyone going to give it a go? Yep, great. It's really worthwhile. I highly recommend it. Any questions? Just unmute yourself if you've got any questions about working with video. If you've had some experiences perhaps where you've felt nervous about going on video and you want some advice on how to get over those nerves, or if you've got some questions about video setup, what sort of lighting you should use, anything at all to do with your video setup, just unmute yourself and ask me a question now if you'd like to.
I've got a question, Nicola, and
Sure.
that's one of the things that I used to find weird, it still is mildly weird, is having a conversation with a little round piece of glass sort of sitting close to you. So, and often what I used to find was that, you know, well, it's not really a conversation, but it'd be stilted and, you know, just not natural, authentic. So, I mean, I guess that exercise of, you know, going up the levels is going to help with that. But any other tips about, you know, how to have a conversation with someone through the screen?
Yes, okay. One of the things that I've had suggested is, instead of just looking at the little circle, which I'm looking at now on the screen here, I could stick a photo of somebody close to me behind it. So I could then imagine that I'm talking to them. That's quite useful. There's also a trick where if you've got an old CD, you know, they are old now, aren't they? But if you've got a CD, you can put that with the whole of the CD, the camera on your laptop coming through that, and it then acts as a mirror. So it stops you looking at the screen, especially when you're doing a video on your phone. It stops you looking at the screen and makes you look at the lens. Because connecting, that's the other very important thing for brand videos, or for any kind of video, testimonials, explainer videos, whatever, is the connection with your audience is with that lens. So I'm looking directly at the lens now, and now I'm looking at the screen with all of us on the Zoom call. So looking directly at the lens is really important with making that connection, but it is difficult. So it's practice, really. Rehearse is one of my catchphrases. And as somebody said earlier, I think it might have been you, Nick, said with video you can stop, start, go back, edit, delete, do it again. You can do it 20, 30 times, and the first video you create is going to be horrible. Don't expect it to be, even if you rehearse a lot. The first video is going to be not great, but you will get better. The more you do, the better at it you'll get. And if you follow those 5 steps and structure it properly, make sure that you've got all the components there, make sure you've got some good lighting going on, some good audio. You really do need to have, at a minimum, something like this. This comes with your phone. Most phones have these, so this is just my Samsung headset that has a microphone on it. But ideally, if I was doing a brand video, I wouldn't use this. I would use either a lapel mic or what's called a shotgun mic, which sits on top of the camera, or some kind of microphone overhead, if that was available. So your audio and your lighting are the 2 key things that you need to get right in the physical space. Your authenticity, your energy, and your overall kind of excitement and enthusiasm levels need to be right before you start recording, or you will have to do it over and over. Does that answer your question? Sorry, I went on a bit more than that. Okay, all right. So with our next piece, now, speaking of which, my light has just gone out. Did you notice that? It's on a battery and it's just died. So we've gone a bit dark. I'm going to turn you around so that you can see me better. There we go.
That's right. Dark mode's all the rage on computers these days.
Okay, so once you've got your video done and ready to go, you need to share it with the world, of course. And it's not going to be seen if you have it sitting somewhere deep down in the third level of your website. So the first place you're going to put it is on your homepage of your website. Make sure that you do that. Make sure that you've got all of the things in place to make it clear that that's what it is. So you might put a heading, welcome to whatever your business is called, and then directly underneath that, that's your video, so they know straight away this is who I've come to see. Upload it natively to social media. Now you can upload your videos to the likes of YouTube or Vimeo, of course, do that as well, but if you are sharing on social media, upload the video direct to that particular social media, because the algorithms like that much better within those social media platforms. The social media platforms will not bring up your video as often in the feed if it's not loaded to it natively. And of course, you want to load it to the place where your audience hangs out. So in the case of Facebook, you're looking at people sort of 30 probably upwards. The people under 30, so your 18 to 30-year-olds, they're going to be on Instagram. 30 to 40s are often on Instagram as well, but you'll probably capture them on Facebook as well as Instagram. LinkedIn, that's more your business contacts, but it is becoming a much more social platform these days, LinkedIn, and there's a lot more video going on there. And I believe, I don't know what the stats are, but I believe you are going to get more bang for your buck on LinkedIn with video at the moment, because Facebook in particular is so saturated with video. The COVID situation has meant that not only are there a lot of professional video people doing work, a lot more work now, but there's also amateurs or people doing their own videos and producing less than professional sort of level quality, but uploading them to Facebook, and they're still getting seen and watched. And so the polished video is probably not as necessary for everything now. You can just upload a live or a quick video you might do in your back garden if you've got a new product you want to talk about. You don't have to get everything polished and done using the 5-step formula that I've suggested you use for your brand video. So other videos can be done with a little bit less finesse, I suppose, and they'll still be viewed because of COVID. It's kind of become the thing. When you share it on Facebook and LinkedIn, also remember that you have groups that you can share with, and groups are great places to get engagement, and the more engagement you get, the more your video gets seen. So if someone comments on your video in a group, make sure that you engage with them. Don't just put a note on saying, send me a message or thanks or something. Make sure you ask a question or engage with them so that you get a conversation going. You can also use the links, as you already probably know, but you can use the comments to put in your links, because you can't actually put a link in a video. So your comment section of your social post will contain the link that you talk about in your video. That might be the link to your scheduler. I would seriously consider paying for Google Ads to promote your videos for your brand, if that's something that you're able to do, and you don't have to pay a horrendous amount. With Google Ads, you can get, you can cap it to say $7 a day, and you can say, I want this ad to go out to an audience within 15 kilometers of where you live, or whatever those your audience, wherever your people are. There's a lot more talk of using Google Ads now rather than Facebook ads, because Facebook has become very difficult to know where your ads are going to be seen, especially I believe it's this week the Apple update is being released, so that will mean that people on Apple will have the option to switch off your ads. So it just makes life a little bit more difficult for small businesses. Facebook's going to lose a lot of money through that, but however, that's another story. So I would go with Google Ads at the moment. I'm not a Google Ads expert by any means, but that's where I would put my money if that's something you're considering doing. Of course, as I was saying, upload to YouTube or Vimeo. It does make sharing much easier. And as Nick explained earlier, the Vimeo platform gives you more flexibility in terms of, you can put those nice links over the top, contact forms over the top of your video. You can upload new videos without them, without having to worry about the old version sitting somewhere on another link, because you can upload and overwrite your existing video. So it's a great way of managing your videos as well. I have showcases set up on my Vimeo channel, so I can group things. So I've got a brand showcase and I've got a testimonials showcase. So there's a lot of functionality in Vimeo that you don't necessarily find in YouTube, and you don't get the ads. That's the other benefit. The other place to share your video is in your email signature. A lot of people don't think about that, but if you've got an email that you're sending out, you send emails every day, you've got your website address and your email, your website address and maybe your Facebook link in the email signature. Add your video link there as well. So that could be going to on your website, or it could be going to your Vimeo channel, but whatever it is, included in your email signature. And then repeat. When you share your video the first time, not everybody's going to see it. So share it again every couple of months. You're not overdoing it. The FB algorithms at the moment, as I said before, are really difficult for small businesses. So you're not going to be boring people by sharing it every couple of months. And of course, you can reuse videos. So you could put a different intro and outro on it. That's something that a few of my clients like to do. So they might have the same central piece, which is their core services, but at the beginning they might just change up the intro each time and say, this month we're doing a special on taps or whatever. Let's say they're a bathroom salesperson, so this week we're doing special on taps, and then they still have the same central part of their video with the showroom of the bathrooms and whatever that they sell, and then at the end a different call to action. So you could mix it up that way, but repeating your brand video every few months on social media is definitely not going to be a problem. And repetitive messaging works anyway. It makes it clear that you are that person who's the expert, if you like, in that area. So that's the person that does videos. Yes, yep, I'll watch her video because the last one told me, this and this. And so they come to recognize you for your brand. So it helps you become known. That's it from me. I've got obviously Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I've got all those accounts where you can find me. My brand video examples are in my Vimeo portfolio, which I could actually just take you to briefly now. Should I do that, Nick? Would that be useful? Yep. Okay.
Yep, do that.
I will just come out of this. I was going to show you, can you all see that screen, the Vimeo channel? So
actually just got your calendar now. No, my calendar. Your calendar. Yep.
You've got my calendar?
Yeah, just the web.
Okay, let me get rid of that. Sorry, folks.
Nicola, can I just ask while you're trying to find
Sure, you can.
Instagram, what's the name that I should be searching for Instagram?
For my Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, love to video _NZ.
Right, okay. Thank you.
So, and it's the number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just need to close that tab. Okay. Now I'm getting the post attendee. If I close that. I think I had.
It did come up initially, so you did have.
It did?
Yeah, it did.
Okay. Okay, I think I've got 2. Okay, is that now come up?
No, we've still got your Zoom screen at the moment.
Okay.
All right. And just while you're sharing again, I got a question from Sherry. Is natively, just asking, when you're uploading videos natively, is it an MP4, not a YouTube or Vimeo link? Just wanting some clarity around what
that's
natively
right.
means.
Yeah. So natively is, so it's the MP4 video that you upload. Yep. That's correct. I'll just try sharing my screen once more and see if that works.
All right. Perfect. That's Vimeo.
Okay, great. Okay. So this is an example of a Vimeo channel, which is my channel that I've set up, and you get all those options as Nick was saying to do various things. But what I wanted to show you here was an example of a brand video. So this one here is one that I did fairly recently. I'll just play that one for you. With brand videos, I'm just going to mute that. We don't need to hear that. You can also have, and I would recommend that you have subtitles, because most people will watch a video without the sound on. So I highly recommend that you use subtitles. This particular video, I'm just going to try and move it up so that I can get, here we go. This particular video is 2 minutes 28, so it's quite a long one. And it's a new business, so we included his logo in the top right-hand corner throughout. That's something else that you might choose to do with your videos. It's quite a nice idea if you're for brands. Also, you'll notice that there's some parts where we're panning around, and that's what we call B-roll in the video world. Something that doesn't necessarily need to have you in it as the person. So that the guy that you saw at the beginning, it's his business, his academy. So he's talking face to camera some of the time, but then we intersperse it with what's called B-roll, which is additional footage, and that's of the kids playing tennis and various things like that. So it adds to the interest of the video. So you'd want to consider that when you're creating your videos as well. So have a little bit of side footage or B-roll to show, perhaps if it's a service, perhaps you might show your client having their bathroom installed. You might have a bit of B-roll showing a workman at the property doing the job, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of components to the actual video production. But in terms of branding, that's what we've done with this particular video. We've started off with a problem, which is that 16 to 18-year-olds in New Zealand don't have the opportunity to learn to play tennis at a high level unless they join an academy, and he's providing that as a solution in his academy that he does in Auckland. So so that's one example of a brand video. I'll take you back. Oops, that didn't go back for me. I'll show you one other that uses still images, because you can use still images in a video as well. Some people shy away from that, but this particular one, we used a whole bunch of still images at the beginning because she creates cakes. So we wanted all these lovely cakes to be included at the start of the video before we come into her talking about what she does. And just having some action shots as well is really great with your brand videos, so that it's actually in the place where she's working, and in this case we've got some overlaid images as well. She also does classes, so we did some b-roll of that. And this is a really emotive video if you do get to watch this at some point, because she gives cakes away. She partners with the Angel Tree program, and once a week she gives cakes away to kids with a parent in prison, which is amazing. And so that's something that is a differentiator for her business. So always look for a differentiator in your business as well when you're producing your brand videos. If there's something that you do that other people that make cakes don't do, like this lady, then tell the story. And here she's telling the story of the wee boy that she gave the Spider-Man cake to, and how it was, you know, his best birthday ever because he'd never had a cake before. So yeah, so all that sort of thing is great. So that's the emotive content being shared there. Okay, I'll just go back. This is an example of a video for a company that does house inspections. So interestingly, there was no face to camera in this at all. So if you are in the services industry, building, electrician sort of stuff, then you don't actually have to do face to camera if it is just a process that you're following. Like these guys do property inspections and they cover insulation, ventilation, heating, and drainage are the things that they come along and inspect, and they use an online thing on their phone to report on. So we just went along and basically shadowed them through the process. I'm actually doing another video in a similar style for a real estate agent soon, who she didn't really want to be talking to the camera that much. She's doing an intro at the beginning, but she wanted to show what she does in an appraisal. So I'll be following her through the house where she just does something similar to what these guys are doing, but not quite the same. Where she does an appraisal for a house that she's going to sell for people. So yeah, so that just starts the process and shows what they do, and you know, got their logo nice and big on the front there. And yeah, that was only 1 minute and 17 seconds, and that's on the homepage of their website, so it clearly shows what they do. Okay, I think that's probably enough of those videos, Nick.
Nicola, we've got an old one there. What's the best way to store your videos?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Yep. Great.
Did you get that question? That was just a question from Aldwin asking what's the best way to store your videos.
Sorry, no, I didn't get that. I had my sound turned down because of that video. The best way to store your videos, yeah, good question. Storage is not an easy thing. There's actually a useful website you can go to compress your videos. It's called Handbrake. Is it .com or dot? I need to check that actually. Let me just check Handbrake. And it allows you to compress them because they are huge files. Handbrake for compression video. There we go. Handbrake.fr. I thought it was something odd. Yeah. So that does allow you to compress your video files down to about half of what they would normally be, and then once you've got them at around about, so like most of my videos, if I shoot them in 4K, which is the high resolution which I normally do, they would come out at about 80 gig or something ridiculous. So I can halve that size by using this Handbrake transcoder, which converts them into a much smaller file size. But once I've got them on Vimeo, that's them stored on their platform, so they're stored there. But I also do store some in Google Drive and some on Dropbox. I store the the raw files on there for a while, and then once the client's project is finished, I transfer that onto a hard drive. So yeah, storage is a big problem with video. If you want to keep the raw files, that is. So not everybody wants to, or you don't have to keep the raw files, but it is something that I tend to do for a good amount of time anyway.
Well, a couple of other questions as well. What app do you use for subtitles or to put logos on the videos? Some old one as well.
So for subtitles and so on, that's within the editing software. I use Filmora for editing, which is a really simple editing software platform. I use that for adding the titles across, like the names, what they call the lower thirds, which is the piece at the bottom that has the person's name that's speaking. But for subtitles, I use rev.com. Rev.com is, I think it's about $1 a minute or something now to get subtitles, and they will burn the titles in if you ask them to now as well. So I find that just a lot easier than trying, if it's a really short video and the subtitles are only, I don't know, 7 or 8 screens, then I'll probably do it manually, but using the video editor. But otherwise I use rev.com. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Was there another question, Nick, that I missed?
Yeah, we've got one here, Jeff, asking, with Handbrake, would they be small enough to send in email?
No. Very, very seldom would you be able to send a video in an email. It has to be 20 megabytes or under. So there's another, if you don't want to do Handbrake and you do want to send something large, there is another site that's gone out of my head for now, but there is another site that you can use for sending files. Transfer me. Let me just, yeah, I think it's transfer. My fingers aren't working. Transfer me. I think that's the name of it.
I think it's WeTransfer.
Thank you. That's it. It's come up with that anyway. Yeah, so that's it. WeTransfer, which is, it's real easy. You just come on here, add your files, or you can actually upload a folder. I'll just accept the cookies. Yeah, so you add your files from your computer, select your file, and then you just email it to, then put in your email and a message and click transfer, and it will send up to 2 gigabytes. So that's quite a good size. Most of your videos will be under that. Oops, no, I was just trying to get it to hover and tell me how much the size is, but it's not going to tell me. However, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 2 gigabytes, and it's, yeah, you just send it and that's it, done. You may, if you don't log in, because you don't have to log in, but if you're not logged in, I think you may now have a verification code that it sends to your email so that you can verify you are a real person. But yeah, real easy, WeTransfer.
Excellent. All right. Any last questions there? All right. Well, if we don't, let's put our hands together and thank Nicola. That was an awesome presentation. Heaps of stuff that I learnt there. I'm always on video, and yes, heaps of value there. So thanks very much for coming and sharing with us tonight.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure.
And we do have now. You do have something to give away, which was the 5-step as well too, which is on your website, is it?
Yes, it is. So I will put that in the chat. Let me just stop sharing my screen. Yeah, that's it. So JM has put that in. So love to video - 5-step video formula. So you just need to fill in your email address, and I will send that to you. So you'll actually be signed up to my mailing list by doing that. And if you want to unsubscribe after receiving it, that's fine. Totally fine. I don't mind at all. And yeah, you'll get the list of the 5-step formula that we talked about tonight. And I'll also throw in, along with that, my check sheet on recommended things that you need to do once you've produced your video. So how to make the most of your video. So all those distribution things that we talked about, where to put it, and how to make sure that you get the most out of the video you've spent all those hours producing.
Awesome. Excellent. All right, I've just gone and got it.
Thanks.
All right. And now we do have a door prize tonight too for one lucky person. And the way the door prize works is you have to be here to collect it. Otherwise, we redraw it. So do you want to tell us about what you're offering as a door prize?
Sure. Yes. So I'm offering a 30-minute call where we will go through your brand video strategy and look at what could be included in your 5-step formula. So it's a free 30-minute call where we can go over and I can help you kind of map out what it is you need to include in your video.
Awesome. Excellent. All right. Well, we've got a special way of drawing this as ever. So let me bring up the wheel of names. All right. And we have all of your names are already pre-populated into there. So we shall click spin. So drum roll, please. And let's see who our lucky winner is. And remembering you have to be here to win. So if you ducked out early, too bad. All right. We have... Is it Yuan Jeffrey? Are you here? Let's have a look. Yes, Yuan's here. So excellent. So
Nice. You
are the prize winner. Congratulations. That'd be an awesome thing, really. I get a bit muddled with this sort of stuff because I've got too many ideas going in my head. All right. So maybe if you just drop your email address and phone number, if you like, into chat to Nicola. Or you can swap and chat there, and then you can organise to hook up with her. So yeah, congratulations. That is an awesome prize. All right. Well, thanks again, Nicola, for spending your evening with us in New Zealand. It was about 9:30 now. So 9:30 here in Australia is normally bedtime because we all get up at 4 o'clock, don't we? All right. So just for those that want to go and watch this again, it will be up on YouTube tomorrow, sort of later tomorrow, once we've edited it. So if you go to the Smash Go YouTube channel, we'll put the link into chat. If you go and subscribe to the channel, you get an email notification to let you know that it's up there. Also, tomorrow we have office hours. So that's at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And office hours is a no agenda, no speaker, conversation, chat, question time, sharing time with other entrepreneurs and business owners. It's all online. It's on Zoom. We have a lot of fun and have some really good discussion too. So you're welcome to come along to that and join that. The link is in chat. It's on Zoom as well. Just bring your cup of coffee or glass of wine or whatever you have at that time in the morning. So it's 10 o'clock New Zealand time, 10 o'clock Queensland time. It is 12 o'clock New Zealand time. I think that's right, isn't it? Is that the right way around? Yes, it is. And half an hour earlier if you are in South Australia and Northern Territory, and 2 hours earlier if you happen to be in Western Australia or in Hong Kong. So we have Mary here from Hong Kong tonight as well. All right, well, that's our session for tonight. So again, let's put our hands together for Nicola. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing some of you tomorrow and some of you next week. Go and have a great week. Thank you for tuning in and listening to the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast. You can also find me on social media and online. Just search for Business Owners Smashing It Online and Nick Cree, spelled Nikree, all one word. If you like this and want to hear more, subscribe now. Until next time, don't be a slave to your business. Get your business working for you.